Alright you guys, I am back with another video, a quick 40-gallon breeder update, and the fish I added in, what kind of corals I put in, and the AI primes I added up top. I decided to remove the Smat Farm 2 LED lighting, so there's one on the quarantine tank and there's one up here, just so I could have better par and more of a spread for lighting, as well as more controllability with the AI Wi-Fi. So I like these lights a lot. These are the 16s. I got two different arm brackets. I don't really care how they look, but I'd say this one's my favorite, the metal arm mount. So if you guys are gonna choose one, I definitely choose the metal arm mount. As for the coral, I decided to glue some of my coral. I put this arch over here so I have more room for different coral species so they won't sting each other. That was a big issue in my last setup, was the chalice was stinging the crap out of my gorgonian, which it looks like it's bounced back and it's starting to grow more heads, so that's a good sign. I'll talk about some of the coral I got. I got some pulsing xenia in here. I got a Warfavia mummy eye chalice, some regular Duncans, some beautiful cherry, or not cherry blossom, magician zoas. I got the cactus chip pavona, as well as the super green pavona, green's bird's nest, stylopora that's backing or starting to come back to life. It's got some red slime algae I'm currently dealing with. More stylopora. I got a beautiful Malaysian pink tip that is hosted by none other than the true perculas. I got some other zoas over here. I'm not sure what the names are. The dragon soul favia, as well as some of the red blastos and some green candy canes. Still got my lobophilia, and I added a green frog spawn coral. As for my tank parameters right now, I'm struggling with cyanobacteria. That's why I thought about not making this video, but it's best to show the good and the bad. My nitrates right now are currently at 0, so that's a really tough time. The Kato is just taking over in the sump, so I did some trimming hoping to grow or raise my nitrates. I'm feeding Phytofeast more. My phosphates went to 0.09, so that's a good sign. We got some life in my nutrient side of things. As for the fish, I got two true perculas, a royal grandma, her name's Miss Pretty, camo hara blenny, beautiful fish. I picked it out on New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve actually, a little gift to myself to start the new year, and he or she is doing wonderfully. Still getting used to the current. I got a Melanaris wrasse that's a female, gonna turn into a male soon. But yeah, you guys, as for fish and livestock, I got, let's see, 2 clowns. So I got 5 fish total, hoping to add maybe a few more fish. I got some fish in quarantine. We'll see how they do. In a month, I'll add them back into this tank. I noticed when I added the Melanaris wrasse, if I could find it over here, the scarlet reef hermit crabs, they started coming out at night. So it's an interesting sign to see when you add a predator that eats some hermit crabs and snails. They start to come out more at night along with the snails. I don't think I could see any snails right now, so I guess they're doing their job. As for any cleanup crew, I pretty much just have a coral bandit, some turbos, trochus snails, scarlet reef hermit crabs for the bubble algae, and that's about it. We'll take a look real quick at some of the fish I have in quarantine. But as for the tank specifications, the setup, I just got a hang on the back overflow. I'd show you the sump, but it's kind of a mess right now, so I'll wait till the light comes on to show you guys again. I got some mini Higer nano wave makers. I got 2 along with the return pump. And what's cool about the hang on the back overflow box is it kind of skims the surface of the water along with my Aquamax Bullet 2 skimmer. So I'd say my nitrates I gotta raise. I gotta keep my phosphates a little lower, or keep them from 0.05 to 0.15. That's a good in between range. My calcium as of 2.4 is 475. I like to keep it 450 to 480. My magnesium is at 1520. I like to keep it 1460 to 1500. And my alkalinity is at 9. So I like keeping it at 9, a little higher, a little elevated. I noticed the corals like it too. Or maybe they just like the reefroids. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but I'll show you. In quarantine, I got some ring-tailed cardinal fish. It's hard to see because of the lighting. I apologize. I got to get a coral lens. I added a chalk bass in here, but it's not doing well. It has hexamida, I believe, so now I'm quarantining that with some Metroplex, some copper, and then in a few weeks I'm gonna dose some Prozi Pro. But yeah, that about does it for this tank. I'd say this new reef setup has been set up for maybe a month and a half, so we'll try to get some coral grow out so I could frag and try to get more. My next coral I was thinking about getting is the elephant skin coral. I believe it's an SPS or LPS, I'm not quite sure. But if you guys have any other suggestions as far as corals, I'm all ears. I need to start stacking some more corals on top of these rocks and raising my nutrients. But that about does it for this tank. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good week.